Hi, I'm Gordon from Ancare, and I want to discuss with you the 4 most common issues that people have with their casters. We're talking about flutter, roll, swivel, and noise. Now, everyone knows what caster flutter is because you go to the grocery store, you get the first cart available, and as you start pushing down the aisle, that front caster just starts fluttering right along. But it seems that after a while, it kind of goes away, right? That's not because of time, that's not because things have loosened up, that's because you've added weight into your cart. And by weighing it down, you've forced everything into alignment. Caster flutter happens because something is misaligned. It could be a problem with the caster itself or a problem with your equipment. If it's a problem with the caster, it's usually this part right here that has failed. This is called the kingpin, and it's what attaches the caster assembly to the mounting plate. Sometimes people will overload their equipment, and as the cart goes along and hits some type of horizontal boundary, maybe it's a crack or a hole in the floor or a transition between doorways, and it exerts a lot of force on that kingpin, and it can cause it to bend. If that's the case, you need to replace that caster. Other times, the cart itself may have come out of alignment. Well, in those cases, try adding some washers underneath the problematic caster. See if you can't lower it down a little bit, and if that will help to adjust the problem. If not, you can also try, no guarantees here, but you can try going over to a wheel that has a higher friction ratio, more tack to it. And sometimes this will help to correct the problem as well. But this one is really a shot in the dark. The best thing to do is to either replace the damaged caster or repair or replace the damaged equipment. You know, sometimes it seems like casters just don't want to roll very well. When that happens, start by taking a look at the wheel itself. Get down there on the ground, take a look at the hub. Make sure that the hub is in good condition. Same thing with your tread. Make sure that the two of them haven't detached from each other. Has someone maybe autoclaved a non-autoclavable caster? That can cause wheel failure when that happens. While you're there, take a look around the hub itself. Make sure that it's clear of any type of debris. Then I want you to inspect the brake as well. Make sure the brake is properly disengaging when people take it off. If not, then you might need to either tweak it or possibly even replace the entire caster. Then I want you to see if your wheels and swivels have one of these. This is called a zerk. It's basically a grease fitting. Now, not all wheels and casters have grease fittings, but if they do, lubricate the wheel. That will probably help. If you still find that it's difficult for it to rotate, then go ahead, get a couple of wrenches, put them on the other end of the wheel here, and just give it a 1/4 turn. See if that doesn't loosen it up a bit. That'll take some of the pressure off of the wheel and maybe let it spin that much more easily. Sometimes it also seems that casters just don't want to swivel very well either. Well, if it's not an alignment issue, very similar to what I mentioned with fluttering, then you want to go ahead and see if your caster has one of these grease fittings on it again, the zerk. Lubricate it. It needs lubrication there. And if that doesn't resolve your problem, you're just going to have to change that caster. And then you have the issue of noise. Now, we've known for years that you push a cart with large stainless steel panels down a hallway, it's going to be loud, right? The stainless steel gets reverberating and the noise is just going to carry. But doesn't it seem like it's gotten worse in the past few years? Well, you know what? If you have new floors, in particular MMA floors, then it probably has gotten worse. You see, MMA in particular, it's a great flooring product, but it's hard. It's extremely hard. And if your equipment has casters on it like this that are also very hard, it's going to cause a lot of reverb. Now, this caster is phenolic. It's extremely hard, but it's also highly autoclavable, extremely durable. So it's great to use in a lot of applications, but if noise is a concern, then I'd suggest switching over to these. This is a kryptane wheel, has the same weight capacity as phenolic, has the same temperature rating, but it's much softer. And this wheel will be a lot quieter than phenolic. As a matter of fact, if noise is really a concern, you can consider going over to these. This is the Heatmaster. It has a lower temperature rating and a lower weight capacity as well. But if you want something that can be really quiet on even the hardest floors, the Heatmaster is the way to go. Now finally, let's talk a little bit about lubrication. As I mentioned before, some casters can be lubricated both through the hub and the swivel. And if your wheels are equipped with zerks, go ahead and try lubricating them. But there's one thing I need to say, and I can't overstress this. This is not a lubricant. Do not use this on your casters. Okay, please. WD-40 is a great product, WD, water displacement 40. It will actually break down grease, okay? It does a great job of cleaning things out, but it's not a lubricant, so don't use this to lubricate your casters. What you really need is one of these. This is just a standard grease gun loaded with a high quality, high temperature grease. Then what you want to do is you go up to your caster, and I'm doing it on the swivel on this one because I've done a few takes of this and now all the hubs are completely lubed, so I'll try it here on the swivel. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this right onto the Zerk here, and I'm going to put a little bit of pressure onto it. And all you do is you give it a couple of pumps, just a couple of times like that. And let's help if I have things. Yeah, there we go. Take that off, and you can see there's a little bit of grease that's starting to show here. And I'm going to unlock this. And now this wheel spins so much easier than it did before because I've added that bit of grease. So go ahead and try lubricating your casters. So generally speaking, those are the issues that people are going to have with their casters. Now, as I mentioned, you will get to a point where you need to consider replacing things. If the caster assembly itself is in good condition, including the swivel, then you consider just replacing the wheel, okay? We have them in stock in polyurethane, phenolic, right over here. This is the Heatmaster, of course, and the cool blue Kryptane wheels. All but the polyurethane are autoclavable, and we have a bunch of assemblies available too. The caster assembly itself, though, we're probably going to ask you to send us a sample at that point because there's so many variants on this. We're going to want to make sure that we send you the one that will match your equipment. That being said, that means that we can match casters for virtually anything you have out there. Just go ahead and contact us at Ancare or your Ancare sales rep, and we'll be more than happy to help you out.